ESPN, TNT made their debuts. The ESPN returning, TNT making their hockey debut. I'll start with my take. I really thought the broadcasts for ESPN, the play-by-play, I thought was really solid. Sean McDonough, I thought, did fine. Ray Ferraro, I thought that was I still think they need to work some stuff out, but I thought overall some pretty good chemistry. Thought AJ Malesko and the gang, Brendan Burke, did a nice job in the Kraken Vegas game. Leah Hextall called a game on Friday with Brian Boucher. If I had a criticism, I just felt their studio panel is bland. I think it's just good at having Emily Kaplan, though, but I think their studio is bland. TNT, for me, bringing in Charles Barkley on day one, I thought that was just a stroke of genius, and he had a lot of fun letting Gretzky score on him. Well, no, let's be honest. They didn't let Gretzky score on him. Gretzky scored on him, but he just added a great element. I thought a lot of fun. I think we'll probably see Barkley again. And, I think a lot of people were concerned about Wayne Gretzky on this panel, and I think he's handled himself quite well. And, I think the one edge I will give TNT is the panel part, and ESPN in terms of the look, I think has been there. We'll catch up on that, and I think everyone overall, I was pretty impressed with both of them.
For me, I feel like Sean McDonough, he's a great voice. I remember him quite fondly from the Blue Jays World Series wins back in the early 90s, calling those for CBS. Still going in the business, did Monday Night Football, high credibility announcer. Did sound quite rusty at doing hockey, though, on that first night, but he'll shake that off. I thought John Buccigross was pretty good on the late game there. Boucher and Malesko.
It was Brett. Yeah, it was
Buccigross. Yeah. Brendan Burke called the opener for TNT, or one of those games on the opening night for TNT. But Boucher and Malesko, I mean, they worked together at NBC, so that the chemistry was there, and that carried over nicely. Contrast there, they had AJ between the benches, performing the more traditional ice level analyst role, whereas Emily Kaplan was more of a between the benches reporter role there. I'm not sure how I like the fit there, although she does a great job with the player interviews. Like after the game, talking with Brian Boyle, I thought that was quite touching about how he's made his comeback to the NHL. Haven't seen much of the panels. Obviously, with Turner, they've that's an area where you would hope that there'd be strength based on their success with their NBA panel, and they've actually assembled, I think, a pretty decent Major League Baseball panel as well for their postseason coverage. And then speaking of which, Turner's broadcasting the NL playoffs this year. And it's kind of cool to be watching the Dodgers and Giants, and here's promotion for their NHL coverage. So now you're getting that cross promotion, not just with one network, NBC, but you're getting it from two networks, and so that's never going to be a bad thing for the NHL to attract some new viewers. Overall, I think they're off to a pretty solid start there with both the networks. But to me, it seems like TNT's taken the more simpler approach and is more like what NBC used to be than with ESPN, where they've gone with some more in-house people that we haven't heard calling hockey in quite a while, and they're trying a few more things there. Like they had that, I don't know, they called it the rush, where it's basically one shift where there's no commentary, and it's just a bunch of low camera angles kind of coming at you fast and furious. It was interesting, but I'm not sure how long that innovation lasts. But it's like what we saw with Sportsnet when they took over the national package in 2014. There was a lot of experimenting that first year, and not a lot of it that remained after that.
Admittedly, I haven't seen much of the new ESPN and Turner stuff, but I will say what I have seen has been decently well. The only thing that I actually saw the clip of would have been Gretzky shooting on Barkley there. So that was definitely amusing, and I'm looking forward to see what ESPN might potentially innovate with, because I know that they're, I guess, trying to take a fresh look at this, kind of like how Tyler touched on, like when Rogers got the Canadian package. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see where ESPN tries to take this and what stuff they try to experiment with. Obviously, there's going to be some hits and some misses, but I guess the fun of it is that experience figuring it out along the way.
Yeah, and for the critics out there that might not like some of this new stuff, I said it when Rogers made their deal for the Canadian rights. These networks don't pay the big bucks to win the rights and keep everything the same. There's always going to be some amount of experimenting and change, and then eventually they kind of settle into that nice little area in which there's some change, but not alienating the traditional fan either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the different camera angles that ESPN's been using. I see potential with them. I just don't. I think they're using them too much at this point. I think it's finding that right medium for using them. And then unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch too much of the panels. I've been stuck being seasick watching the Rogers to the point panel.
Yeah.
Which looks like Rogers is they're experimenting now as well.
Well, yeah, I mean they've made a big deal out of their new set that's in the Rogers campus now. They're out of the CBC building, and my only comment, I mean, I like the design of the sets and the fresh look visually. They got a new graphics package, a new audio that's gone with it. The studio just seems dark. I don't know if they've got the lighting correct in there. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but it just feels like it's quite dark in there.
Yeah, so I just happened to look up and watch the To The Point first intermission of the early games last night, and I was really just jarring to see them have such a small table with 4 people around it, and then the camera is just constantly moving, and it's not it doesn't feel like it's a natural movement. It just. I see what they're trying to do. I think the execution is off, and you're going to make people sick with that much camera movement.
And we actually kind of had a decent discussion about this at the pub last night for my little birthday get together. I actually took the opposite of Sean's opinion in this regard. I actually was kind of a fan of it. I admit that they might need to fine tune a little bit and maybe slow the camera movement a little bit. But I overall like the kind of panning over the shoulder sort of angle that they're kind of experimenting with. So yeah, it could use some work, but ultimately I like what they're trying to go with there in that intermission.
Well, here's where I'm confused, because you go at the end there with the sort of the old Strombo set, and you had everybody sitting on a couch. Why is that not on the first intermission? To me, that feels a bit more comfortable to me. I would have to go with Sean there. I think that's moving the camera around. Well intentioned, I think, is not how we have a conversation, right? We're looking eye to eye, and you want to have someone in a comfortable position. So I'm kind of with Sean. If it was me, and they don't pay me enough I'm not in their pay grade. But I would stick, if you're going to do that hot stove, go with the Strombo lounge. I think that's a little bit more comfortable. That's just me, in my view there.